Oh, capacity crown. It's packed. It's packed in here. It's very warm. Baymax bread is coming to California Adventure. That or it's Sloth from the Goonies. I'm not sure. I don't know what bread it is. Lego is making a 5,000-piece set of the Gringotts Bank from Harry Potter, but most impressively, the dragon on it actually moves. Because the one at Universal doesn't. Thanks. Ahsoka made her debut at Disneyland this week, but not at Disney World. I don't know. Given the heat here, though, I think we need a super Ahsoka. You've read WDW News Today. Now it's time for WDW News Tonight. God,
Live from WDWNT Celebration near the Walt Disney World Resort, it's WDW News Tonight with Tom Corless and LoCicero. Tonight, Man vs. Park, the Beverly Challenge. A discussion of our first Disney Parks attractions, rejected San Fransokyo Square attractions, the wonderful world of Psychotic comments, the music of Piano Rob, and more. I'm LoCicero. Now, here's your host, Tom Corless.
Hello, I'm Tom Corless, and the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District has taken away my annual pass.
Aww.
Didn't know this, I was a firefighter. That's what I do the rest of the week, yeah. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and if you're really enjoying this nonsense, you can leave a super chat right here on YouTube. Your donation will be used to funnel money into the Walt Disney Company, because that's what they were doing, apparently, by giving them a benefit. Yep. Rob, how's it going?
It's going good.
Nick?
Great. Do people know what super soakers are? Are they still a thing?
That's still a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
They still make them.
Wow.
What did you say? I don't even want to know.
I love that joke.
Do I even want to know what was just said? Wow.
I don't know. I thought that was...
I said Nick does.
No, okay. All right. Did you watch I assume you watched Ahsoka.
3 times already.
Is it the great? It's got to be your favorite thing ever.
I think they did a very good job. It's exactly what I
Because you're like the
wanted.
Rebels super fan.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who likes Rebels as much as you do.
Rebels, Clone Wars, yeah. No, they did it. They did it really well.
Yeah.
I love the characters, love the story so far. I think they did it perfectly. A lot of pressure there because I don't know. Like that's one of my favorite characters ever. Wearing the pants.
You are
wearing the pants.
Tano.
That's right. I forgot.
I know. I should. Yeah.
Tano.
But no, they did a great job. I'm very impressed.
I like it so far. I'm into it. Rob, you watched it yet?
Of course.
That means no.
No, I did.
Oh, you did?
I keep up with all. I have minor complaints, but I'm curious to see where it goes.
What are your minor complaints? Are we getting in spoiler territory?
No. I thought certain parts were drawn out.
Well, yeah, it's not a movie. It's a streaming show.
No, but like really,
have you watched a streaming show that's not drawn out?
No, I know, but like really drawn out. And there's certain, I don't want to give anything away, there's certain things that I think are normally just immediate death in the Star Wars universe that wasn't in one of these. Like I'm like, this little things, but I'm curious.
I will say on the second and third watch, there were parts I fast forwarded through.
Yeah.
Like there's
it was
a little
long.
drawn out.
What did you
slow,
fast forward? What did you fast forward?
Well, no, when she's solving the puzzle at the beginning, you know, and like.
That was funny. I didn't want to say it. That was one of the things I thought was very drawn out. It's like, we know you're going to solve it. But we got it.
All right, but it's like, it's like you're watching Raiders of the Lost Ark. You're like, just put the sand on the pedestal. Just get to it already.
Come on.
The boulder should roll faster. God, this could be 30 minutes shorter, this movie. Anyway, I'm very confused. I had to look up a lot of Rebels. I didn't watch Rebels.
Yeah.
I watched my phone's telling me I have 30 minutes to do something. I don't know what.
I think it works even if you haven't, but.
I think you'd be very confused. It'd be like watching anything from Marvel now.
It definitely,
Where you're like, did I miss something in between? No, I've watched everything. I still have no idea what.
It helps to have the backstory of all those characters.
Yeah.
They're already very well developed, but if you haven't seen the cartoon, you don't know them.
Don't worry. You know, I'll explain to my father. I'll just be like, look, there were these space whales, and the space whales took them away, and now we need to find where the space whale went.
That sums it up.
Tell me,
Right? It does.
Yeah.
Tell
me if your dad though was like mine, because it's a cartoon. That generation's like, I'm not watching a cartoon.
won't watch it, yeah.
They won't watch it. It's
No.
like, it's a good cartoon.
So that's what I think happened. I think Disney was like, you know, it'll cost us almost the same amount of money to do this in live action, and more people will watch it. So why don't we just do it in live action, right? And then we can build a practical Loth-Cat, and it's
That
amazing.
was gorgeous.
They need to redo the one in the land now, so it
loved
looks
it.
correct, right?
Yeah.
That'll never happen. That money will never be spent. But they'd sell way more of the plush if they looked like that and not whatever the hell those old ones look like at Galaxy's Edge. The weird, you know, why do people like cats? Oh, because they're cuddly. All right, we're going to make this toy cat, and it's just solid plastic with fur on it. Kids are going to love it. Do the arms like flop around? You can hug it? No, the arms are stiff.
They push out.
They're totally stiff like this. Very cuddly. I love it. Ow! News?
News.
All 40 people in the crowd exclaiming news. The Walt Disney Company, shut up, Joe. The Walt Disney Company stock dropped to a 52-week low this morning, hitting $83.02, down more than 3%. Man, it's going to be sad when guests have to make the choice whether to buy Genie Plus or a share of the company. They're going to be about the same. Price. The stock then closed today at a 10-year low. 10-year low. That's right, folks. We are back in Mars Needs Moms and John Carter territory. We've gone back to that time. It's great. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, also known as SFTOD, their administrator.
No one knows it as that.
What?
No one knows it as that. That's the
How
word.
do you say it?
SFTOD.
Sup, Todd? It's like when you greet your friend Todd. Sup, Todd? How's it going? Not good. There's been some ethics problems, said Todd. Not too good. But Administrator Glenn Gilzine Jr. has resigned from his position as the chairperson of the Florida Commission on Ethics after it discovered he violated a rule of the Ethics Commission by taking the job with the district, which pays him $400,000 a year. Man, you know what you could do with that money? You could give your employees annual passes. Might be a good. Oh man. Yeah, but this so this makes him the only employee that's not pissed about losing park admission. Don't worry, he still has that $400,000. He could buy himself an annual pass. Don't worry. Times have been added to the My Disney Experience app for the Mandalorian and Grogu's appearances in Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios, so now you know when they're coming out. Some guests reported having trouble finding him despite being told, this is the way. You know. That was the dumbest. It's the dumbest joke. Disney announced that parking trams are returning to Epcot. Don't applaud this. Thank you, Figment. Thank you. Parking trams are coming back to Epcot and Hollywood Studios in September. Yeah. They need the time between now and then to clear all the corpses of the guests who walked through in July. It was too hot. They got to dispose of the bodies. Also, Disney will be raising the parking rates by $10, you know, due to guest demand. Not because they have to operate trams again. But, yeah. The Earth was removed from the exterior of Mission Space at Epcot. The Earth is gone. And when Disney fans were asked about the project, they said, keep going. Get rid of the rest. Leave Space 220, though, the bar, just the bar. We'll be fine. The Vanellope meet and greet in the Imagination Pavilion at Epcot has been closed permanently. Yeah, turns out Vanellope was excommunicated from the Church of Imagination after she was caught stealing 1 cent from the collection plate. 1 cent.
Oh. I like that one.
You win 1 cent. Jake didn't get it. He didn't get it. It's fine. Yeah. Nick, I have a mug. The mug has a lid, so you can't put anything in it.
Do I ever drop it? Wow.
Just to be sure. Stormalong Bay will be closed for 5 months at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club in 2025. During that time, Beaches and Cream will be renamed to Construction and Cream, and the kitchen sink will be served in a hard hat. A whole beam, you know, a whole cigarette. The cigarette and like a Corona bottle sticking out from the construction guys. The menu for Tiana's Palace at Disneyland has been revealed and will include a stuffed beignet. That's good because I always felt after a bag of those, they're really good. I just need them to be heavy and for cream to shoot out of them onto my leg. That's what I always felt. Yep. Yeah, I'm sure Disneyland custodial cast members will be very happy to know they'll not only be wiping up powdered sugar now, but also people's extra cream. Great. Shut up, Joe. Did the teleprompter break? What happened? Down? There's more. Yep, there you go. Keep going. There you go. Right after leaked cream. There you go. Restaurant. You know. The restaurant will also be selling a ceramic lily pad plate and cup set from your grandmother's house. Also, they're also going to have one of those sugar cookie tins that you open it and it's just like sewing stuff. The dance cookie tin. That'll be $9.99 with any food purchase. It's a souvenir drink container. Just drink out of it. Disneyland, you know. Disneyland Resorts theme parks closed early on Sunday due to the rain from Hurricane Hillary. Yeah, the storm closed Disneyland at 10 p.m., which was still 3 hours later than Animal Kingdom that day. It's not even a joke. That's just the actual park hours, even with a hurricane. Tokyo Disney is going to charge guests to use changing rooms for their Halloween costumes this year. Yeah. Not to be outdone, Walt Disney World will charge a similar fee to guests to use the bathroom. Don't care if you're changing what you're doing in there, just please pay. Worlds of Marvel is expected to be on the Disney Treasure. It's already on the Wish, but it'll be on the Disney Treasure with a brand new show. Yeah, the new show will feature Loki and Mobius going back in time to try and stop the menu from happening. Yeah, and I've heard Miss Minutes will even appear as the microwave timer.
There you go.
Wow. We play that like 3 times a week now.
Yeah, I know.
It's overdone.
That should tell you something.
It's overdone. Okay. It's almost time for the random Price is Right music of the week. So there it is. There you go. I love how quick Derry can get to that when we don't do the Price is Right. We're doing the actual game. It's very difficult. He likes to challenge himself. He pushes the soundboard as far away. Oh my God. David Hand, the son of the director of the original animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I think also the villain from Super Smash Brothers. I don't know. David Hand told the Telegraph that he thinks the live-action Snow White is too woke. Yeah. Of course she's woke. What kind of ending would it be if she was still in the coma? I hope she's woke. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is set to return in 2025 and will star Duffy the Disney Bear. Yeah. Not to be outdone, we will be starting our own children's show called Tom Corless's Clubhouse, but ours will have gelatoni. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Universal Orlando Resort has announced more details about Passholder Night, including their exclusive food and beverage items, and among them will be a special series of special pretzels. Yeah, these pretzels are special compared to the usual offerings in that these have passed FDA regulations. They're very special. They are what the government would qualify as food. Lego is making, I did this joke already, skip this. It's in there twice. The Halloween bar at City Walk will return this year as Revenge of the Dead Coconut Club in 3D. Yeah, it'll be like the vomit is coming right at you. Yeah. When asked for their thoughts on the bar, Stadler and Waldorf of the Muppets said, "Hey, bar, your drinks aren't even good in 3D." You know, I give up. A roaming horde of Megans is coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Meanwhile, a roaming horde of Karens is heading to guest relations at the Magic Kingdom if it rains during their Halloween party. Watch out, one of those is infinitely scarier than the other one. That's the news. Who brings us the news?
This program is brought to you by WIGS, the WDWNT Inner Globe Society. Support WDWNT to get early and exclusive access to content you can't find anywhere else, including exclusive post shows for WDW News Tonight and Park Center, access to our prize wall, a monthly Zoom with Tom, access to our Discord community, early access to our events, and much more, starting at just $2 per month. For more information, visit patreon.com/WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com and click the Patreon link. Join WIGS and unlock even more WDWNT.
I assume there are some WIGS members here tonight in this capacity crowd. I think I can even see there's some way back there. Yeah. We've got some on top of Jake's booth. We had to add rafters above that.
In the rotunda.
There's people in the rotunda. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of wigs here tonight. Still not one on Jason, but a lot in general. Let's see what's happening this week on Disney Plus. Throw Mama from the tram. Look it up, kids. Does anyone even remember that movie? I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites.
Jason, I'm not surprised you remember that movie. You were one of the people in this room alive for it. What year did that come out? I don't have a phone.
Mid 80s.
Someone open a phone and
mid
look.
to late
What
80s.
is- Throw Mama from the train. What year? Do we know? Curious now. Anyway, while our research staff is
87.
looking that up. 87?
87.
I was not alive for that movie. There you go.
Damn it, I was.
Eric's leaving the check. There he goes. Eric, we got it. We found out.
I shouted out 87 when you first asked.
Did you?
You should get the prices right ding then.
Give him a ding. He's right. There you go. All right, now let's see. For the rest of you, we're going to push the yodeling guy up the mountain. Let's see. Let's see when he's going to stop. All right, Nick, time for a price. No, I saw that. You want to leave it up? You might as well. Nick, is it time for a pricing game?
What? Yeah. Next item up for bids is Toasty.
No! Don't auction Toasty. You can't have him.
It's yours.
No, leave him. Leave him be. They already have a piece of our old podium. They have enough.
Autographed.
What?
It's autographed.
The podium. Yeah, we did
yes.
autograph the piece of the podium. Yeah,
That was
that's
fun.
fair. We have super chat. What was that? What? You have the good piece? I mean, the front is the part that was furthest from Nick, so maybe that is. That might be the good piece. I don't know. Anyway, we have super chats, I think, against better judgment. Oh, look at these. Oh, they're really small. Because Tram said. Alma loves Disney, $4.99. I'm going to just keep walking up to them. There we go. There it is. Obi-Wan Kenobi, $20. R.I.P. Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. Terry was a legend that wrestled for 6 decades. Bray was a creative force rarely seen. I know it may sound stupid. Looking forward to today's show to lift my spirits. Love you guys. Yes, very sad. Kevin S. with the blank super chat.
Yeah.
$7.77. Yeah.
Those are the best.
Say Division 3D at the 10.
Tono!
7. Yes, 7. Chooch, you know. Thanks.
Yeah!
Thanks, Chooch. The Eric Shapiro Show, which is on after Larry Elder, which is on after this, $4.99. Ahsoka is a great show. The show has a chance of being a great show like Mando. Also, I had fun time at the show 2 weeks ago. Keep up the great work. He was at the show last week. He did not have a good time. Next, more of these. Chooch, 199, you are all stunning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Agreed.
At least somebody's drinking.
A Ducking Wrestling Podcast, $9.99. On tonight's Tom Explains Wrestling, Tom pays tribute to the late Terry Funk and Wyndham Rotunda, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt. May they rest in peace. Yes. Yeah. Didn't you, Eric, you knew the dad, Mike Rotunda or something? You used to tell me his story.
Yeah,
What was?
a bunch of wrestlers in Brooksville. I went to my high school.
Oh, I went to your high school? Oh, okay.
I mean, after I did, but yeah.
Yeah. Did the dad go to your high school?
Dorfs were there.
Mike
I don't know
Rotunda?
about the dad. I know they're around.
He was IRS. He was.
They all live in Brooksville.
He was IRS. He was Irwin R.
Shyster.
Shyster.
Yeah.
He was a tax collector for the IRS. That was what he was a wrestler.
Spoiler
That was the
alert,
character.
he was a bad guy.
Yeah. As was the Repo Man, who was a Repo Man.
Their grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan.
Blackjack Mulligan, yeah. The Blackjacks. Yeah. There also was, we just started, there was a garbage man. Duke the Dumpster Drozy was a garbage man. Actual garbage man. Anyway, move on. Remembering the Dream, $199. Did they cave and hire Nick to drive the trams? The Maxi Tram, it's coming. Comes the Maxi Tram. Magical Journeys by Kira, $4.99. Thanks for all the info and laughs every week. Cheers. With Beverly, of course, we do have Man vs. Park tonight, Beverly Challenge coming up, where you'll be amazed how hard it is to drink soda. It was a big challenge for some of our staff members. The cup was to configure the cup out. Well, we'll see what happens. That's coming up tonight. Also, San Fransokyo Square is opening next week at DCA, but we have, in classic WDWNT fashion, we have a bunch of concept art that didn't make the cut. Some projects that didn't make it into San Fransokyo Square we're going to share with you tonight as well. And also a conversation, a discussion, if you will, of our first ever Disney rides. What were the first Disney rides at each park we went on? What do we recommend for people if you've never been to a certain park? What should be your first ride? Because you know, Nick, you never forget your first time.
So true, Tom. So true.
Like your first podium. You never forget your first podium.
I should have kept a piece of it.
Yeah. We had no room. There's no room.
Yeah.
We have to keep all those vague Star Wars pieces by the door. All those Star Wars pipes. We'll figure out something to do with those at some point. Maybe after this. We're going to take a commercial break. Be right back with more tonight. Hi, I'm Tom Corless from WDWNT.com, and I want to take a few minutes here to ask something of the Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney Company, I know how much you love cheap labor. That's proven by how much you use the Disney College program and international programs for cheap, nearly free labor. Well, I would like to offer you, in fact, one better, I would like to offer you completely free labor. I'm going to offer you an entirely new program. I call it the Disney Fan Program. And what the Disney Fan Program will be, it will be an opportunity for Disney fans to go work for the Walt Disney Company for absolutely free. And you may ask yourselves why. why would we do this for free? Well, the reason is because if we wait for Disney to do it or pay someone to do it, it will never actually happen. So here's the way this program will work. Here's one of the things I want to do. First of all, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go to the pet store, and I'm going to buy some sort of exotic bird. And I'm going to take this exotic bird to the Grand Floridian. And we're going to put the bird in the giant abandoned bird cage in the lobby. And Disney, I don't want you to worry about it. I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to clean the cage. I'm going to feed the bird. You don't have to worry about it. We get to enjoy the fact that the thing is actually used again, and you don't have to pay for it. And on top of that, Eric has offered he's going to get on a lift. We're going to bring the lift ourselves. We're going to rent it. Eric's going to get on the lift, go to the roof, and we're going to fix all the lights on the roof because you refuse to. They're just white lights. How difficult can it be? I think we'll be fine. If we're not, I pay Eric's medical insurance anyway. It'll be on me. As for other things we can do, we here at WDW News Tonight would be happy to fill in for the citizens of Hollywood at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which you still refuse to bring back. We will literally, I will get the costuming ourselves. We will go to the park and we will be the citizens of Hollywood. Free of charge, just so people have the thing that they want back. And Disney, this even applies to just simple things like custodial and cleaning. There is this wall at the exit of Rock and Roller Coaster, and I have to explain this because we know you haven't seen it because it's filthy. There is a wall at the exit of Rock and Roller Coaster you removed a picture from, and behind it was the dust of 20-something years. And that dust of 20-something years, despite you removing the portrait, is still there and is refusing to come off the wall. I'm offering to take a Swiffer duster myself to the park and clean this free of charge. I just need your approval to do so. So Disney, if you're listening again, please approve the Disney fan program for the cheapest and best labor you could possibly have, and a better experience for your guests at that. And all you have to do is email me at tom@WDWNT.com. That's tom@WDWNT.com. I know you also have my phone number. You can certainly call that. I know you have it because you used to call me to complain about things I said on the internet. But yeah, so please accept my offer for the Disney fan program because we're just so f***ing tired of waiting for you to do it.
Long before the old Model T, around about the turn of the century, folks discovered a barrel of fun, taking pictures by the light of the sun. Smile, wave, look at the camera, hold your breath and say cheese. Little did they realize back then they were making memories. Making memories, taking pictures is making memories, catching little pieces of time and making them yours and making them mine. Birthday faces, happy places, hold your breath and say dear. And when we're making memories, happy days can reappear. Happy days can reappear.
Tonight at 11 on ITM Nightly News, Disney wants your kids to become addicted to gambling. The CFTOD administrator sets the going rate on ethics at $400,000. And Figment has evicted a popular Disney character from her home. All this and more on ITM Nightly News at 11.
Been on the air for a long time when our commercial throws feature extinct attractions now. Another 2 years, everything in those commercial throws will be gone. Jason, get your hand out of here. Eric's arm is in. There's no one there yet. Sabrina, I was worried. I didn't see you emerge from the curtain 30 seconds prior to the show today, so I wasn't sure you were still here. But anyway, let's find out the Disney Parks incorrect fact of the week. San Fransokyo Square is the most ambitious expansion in the history of Disney parks. Over 12 gallons of paint have been used to repaint things with Japanese symbols. Yes, very ambitious. You know, it is an ambitious project. So let's talk about it a little bit. Obviously, when they start working on a project, they have a blue sky period, and sometimes they stand on stage at D23 and tell us about the blue sky just to sort of impress us. But otherwise, this will be when they throw out all sorts of ideas for the project, right? So of course, with a Big Hero 6 land, San Fransokyo Square, there were a lot of ideas that didn't make the cut, and someone was nice enough to send us that concept art. Would you guys like to see it? Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So here it is. We have the rejected San Fransokyo Square attractions. Let's see what we have. We have Ant Catastrophe Canyon. Look, her dump truck got knocked over. Aunt Cass's dump truck. God. You know, they were going to put a Baymax breathalyzer at the cerveceria that would tell you how drunk you are on a scale of 1 to 10.
Wow.
At 10, a Disney Vacation Club sales representative emerges. Would you like to buy Disneyland Hotel? Oh, it's the Baymaxi van. That's how they're going to get him to and from his meet and greet, via the Baymaxi van.
That would have been a big opportunity for me to expand my business, but oh well.
They were gonna build a San Fransokyo bridge for the monorail to go over. What an interesting idea! I've never seen that before. That would have been cool. The Fast and Furious San Fransokyo drifts. Oh, eat asphalt, said Baymax. Did Jason come up here without a mic?
I did.
Wow.
Yep.
Don't forget to visit Heroes, Big Hero 6, Heroes. There's 6 of them. One of them's just bread with wasabi in it. No. Of course, this being a vaguely Japanese Disney project, they planned Mount Fuji. A Mount Fuji roller coaster was pitched for the 100th time. There it is. The Tadashi Grill. Wow. Oh, boy. There are more of these. Turbines over California. That guy is really angry, that guy who commented about the turbines. Really mad. We're going to have the Go-Go's bar. No? All right. It was totally worth the fight to get this graphic done today. Great. Go-Go's bar. I tried, Rob. Aunt Cass is going to guest star in the Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Give Joe a minute. He'll figure it out. We'll explain it to you later. The initials of Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor.
Oh, I gotta Google that.
No, please don't.
No?
No. Don't.
All right.
Wow. She just yelled out, "They're too old for you."
I heard.
You heard? Well, the people at home couldn't because there's so much crowd noise this week from the large audience that I was afraid they couldn't hear at home. So we have a discussion. The discussion is so last week. My parents were visiting, and a weird thing happened where I don't even know how it came up, but the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera ride, and Universal came up in a conversation.
Used to love it.
And my mother randomly goes, "That was the first thing we ever rode at that park," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, it was the first thing we did." And then the first thing I thought was, oh no, we were those people. We got in line for the first thing we saw. And the second thing that occurred to me was that's really interesting. I didn't know that. And what are other people's first rides? Do people remember what their first rides were? What were they? And then what do we think when people go to different Disney parks around the world, or even if we want to talk about Universal, we can. What do we think should be the first thing people do? So that's the discussion tonight. And we have our illustrious panel. We have Sabrina, who's angry about something. Her arms are I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Just like,
I felt bad. I was like one of the only ones that didn't get the memo about the shirt. So.
oh, the
Yeah.
police stand. Only two of
I got
six.
my unicorn shirt on.
Only 2 of 6 of us have it on. What shirt is that?
It just says Daydream Rider. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, Eric has one of his 3 T-shirts on today.
Hello down there, everybody.
It was either going to be Orient Express, Harry's, or what, Beefy King? Those are the 3.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Leo says it's the Jaws shirt. I wear that once every 3 weeks, but apparently I wear it every day in her mind.
Yeah.
It's just
So Eric,
the
Eric's
Hofbrau
here.
House is my uniform.
Yeah. Eric's here. Piano Rob has come out of the alley.
Yeah, thanks for letting me inside. It's hot out there.
And Jason, and obviously Nick and I are here. So, Sabrina, why don't you start us off?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first thing you rode at a park was, or do you?
No, well, I know, like, one of my first roller coasters was Space Mountain.
Yeah.
That was, like,
Disneyland or Disney World?
Disney World.
Disney World, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you went to Disneyland when you were young, too, right?
Yes, but we actually, like, I'm originally from the West Coast, but my family moved around a lot, and so we actually spent time, like, 4 years worth down in Florida. So, like, we grew up going to Disney World as well.
Yeah.
Of course, the first thing we rode at Studios is no longer there, so
Well, I mean, everything you rode at Studios is
it's
no longer there.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
Not even the tram.
The tram is the only thing that's
Yeah.
coming back, though.
But Space Mountain was my first coaster, and that was like, because my mom doesn't do coasters, so my uncle took me on it, and like the big thing was like that is like you gotta yell when you're on a coaster. He was just like, you gotta yell, like we're going in there, you gotta yell, and you gotta put your hands up. I don't do one of those things on that ride anymore.
Hands up, I would
Yeah.
assume. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one location I will put my hands up in that ride.
Only if the cops are involved.
Even then, I'm
Okay.
but yeah, and then I was gonna say Disneyland. I don't.
I'm really holding out for rocket rods to be the answer.
That was my. In all fairness, that was my first one in Tomorrowland. Was rocket rods. We waited, I don't know how long, like 3 hours or more for that one.
It's in fact the only thing you had time to do the whole day because
Yeah.
it took so long to get on it.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, in all honesty, I think it might have been. I think it was Indiana Jones.
That's a good one.
Because my mom had been to Disneyland prior, and like I said, we grew up really actually going to Disney World, and so the Disneyland one, my mom was like, we got to go ride this, and we got to get it first thing because
Yeah.
it'll get really full, and so yeah.
Or we'll stop working soon for the day. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that was back when too they used to give you, it was like things to do while standing in line.
The
There was
decoder
like a
card.
decoder card. Yeah, we were given the decoder card. You'd go through and, like I said, the people we were with, they'd been there before, and so there was a section that you could hit, and then the wall the ceiling
The
would start
bamboo
to come
pole,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. And said, I don't think that works anymore either.
Occasionally.
But so that was like a big thing, and stuff. And they were going through, and they wanted to see my reaction to that.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So those were like probably my main ones
Eric?
that I remember.
So there's this ride I have a T-shirt for called the Orient Express at Worlds of Fun. I'm just kidding. It was not my first ride. It is my first like scary ride. Disneyland, very young. The first ride I remember was Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland,
Yeah.
and this is in the 70s, right?
So it worked. The
Yeah, it worked.
animatronics moved.
It worked, and that left an indelible mark. It is still my favorite ride at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Then we have at Disney World. Actually, we'll stay out on the West Coast, same trip. The Glamour Trams out at Universal with Jaws and the Psycho House and all that stuff. They parted the Red Sea. I don't know if they still do that anymore.
Wow.
I remember that. And in Disney World, I was a teenager, and my first ride at Disney World was Delta Dreamflight.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are good
my
memories to
favorites.
have, I think. I would be pretty disappointed if my first ride was some spinner or,
Yeah.
I don't know, teacups
Delta
or
Dreamflight.
one of those boring rides.
That's a good one. I was going to say, now that they don't part the Red Sea now they just part the Dodgers parking lot. With the rain last week. Anyway. Rob.
Oh man, I was young, so only 2 parks over here were open. Peter Pan's the one I remember the most as a kid, but I was like 5 years old. So you're in a flying ship and you're looking down on the city. That's all you. At that age, that was amazing to me. Epcot, what always stood out the most to me at that point was Horizons as a kid, because I think you got to push buttons. I mean, let's be you fought with your sibling over which I want to do underwater, I want to do space. That's what you did. That was a cool.
If you didn't have siblings, your father.
Yeah.
My father would always cross his arm and be like, "Oh, you two always pick. I never get to pick." I don't think the guy ever got to see whatever ending he wanted on Horizons. I don't think he ever won.
Yeah. See, I never remember going on Horizons when I was a kid.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
bad.
see, that sticks out in my. That one really sticks out in my.
We
memory.
always spent so much time like going to Sea Base Alpha that
Sea Base out.
Living Seas.
over at Living Seas.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't think we made it ever over to that side.
That's so fun.
Just
For,
waiting
like,
for a
creating
hydrolator to
command.
come back from land.
Yeah.
Universal over here, I think I'm in the same boat as you. It was either Hanna-Barbera
Yeah.
or Alfred Hitchcock, because we were right in
Yep.
front. And I think it was Hanna-Barbera because they did the kid thing first. On the other coast for me, I'm with you, it was Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones was pretty new my first trip over there. And it was different. You didn't want to go on.
It worked.
It worked. And
Yeah.
and you didn't want to go on necessarily an attraction they had here, even if it was different as your first. And I remember that tram ride, man, at Universal too. Same thing. The Back to the Future courtyard there with the clock tower and all that stuff. That was good. That's it. Those are mine.
Jason.
So when I was a kid, my first trip to Walt Disney World, there was only one park open. So
Were there TVs?
no. The park was the parking lot.
The only
of the
rides they had a
Center.
horse-drawn streetcar and a treehouse. That was it.
The Glenn
They hadn't
Campbell
figured out-
experience.
They hadn't figured out electric rides yet.
Yeah. So the one that sticks out to me the most in the Magic Kingdom is the Walt Disney World Railroad. Because that's at the front of the park, and that's kind of what.
That's how he arrived at the park. From Pennsylvania.
It used to actually connect to the real world. Yeah.
But I also remember distinctly wanting to go on Big Thunder Mountain, and either I was too short or no one wanted to go on with me, so they took me on the railroad. We used to call it the runaway train. I think a lot of people.
Is
call
your
Big
mic on,
Thunder
Jason?
Mountain
People are
the
asking
runaway
in the
train.
chat.
I mean, it's on. Yeah, it's on. It says on. See. People used to call it. We used to call it the runaway train.
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain. I think that was
Because
kind of
most
a
amusement
common
parks
thing.
had something similar, and
Yeah.
that was usually what it was called.
And so my grandmother took me on the Walt Disney World Railroad and called it the runaway train.
Because you went through Tumbleweed, right?
Yes, right, exactly. So I remember that specifically. My first trip to Epcot, I distinctly remember Spaceship Earth, mostly because as soon as you go into Epcot, everyone just gets in line for Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
That's even to this day, that's what people do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of insane, but that's what people do. So I remember Spaceship Earth. That was my favorite attraction as a kid. I used to ride it all the time. Remember the lasers and the mist on the descent and everything. That was great.
Who was narrating?
Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
Walter, my favorite narrator too.
Take that, Jeremy Irons.
How dare you? That's the best version. I will fight you.
Walter Cronkite Buffalo.
No.
America's
Yeah.
most trusted person.
That's right. At Universal, we went to Universal once, and I distinctly remember Jaws. I think by the time we got to Universal, we figured out don't go on the first thing as you enter the park. That's a bad strategy. And so we went right to Jaws.
That is still true at
and got on
Universal.
that. I mean,
I resigned to don't go on the 11th thing you see.
Why don't you
Yeah.
just look at the app for wait times?
Wow.
back then we didn't even have maps.
They had a guy chiseling it into a tablet at the entrance.
We didn't have maps.
That's, yeah.
He had to update it by hand.
Yeah.
Then like 3 more people get lines. God damn it.
That's actually what the papyrus was used for at Epcot.
He's just passing on his
Papyrus.
last generation family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pounding reeds flat.
Wow.
And so for Disneyland, my first trip to Disneyland, I was with a friend who was a Star Wars nut.
Yeah.
And so we had to go on Star Tours first. I didn't want to, but that's what we had to do.
You're like, we have that at home.
Yeah, and it was, no, we had to go on Star Tours first, so we did. That was probably the most disappointing, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend people go on Star Tours first at any park,
Yeah.
anywhere in the world.
Your first ride at Shanghai Disney wasn't as disappointing? I was there for that one.
You were there for that one. That was Pirates.
Pirates.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where nothing worked.
that was pretty disappointing too. Yeah.
People went on and on. They're like, oh, the pirate ride in Shanghai, you're going to love it. We're like, all right, we'll go straight back there.
did.
We went straight back there and got on the ride. It's like, oh, this is cool. Look at this boat. And look at this animatronic. And then halfway through, it turned into all screens.
And half
then
of them
the
didn't
end
work.
didn't work.
The end
And we're
didn't work. There was, like, no lights.
We like looked at each other for a minute. We're like, it wasn't great, right?
Yeah.
Were people wrong? I think people were wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nick.
I mean, I guess, like, not a lot of us remember necessarily first rides, but, like, kind of what sticks in your head? Like, what is the most memorable thing that you could first remember? So for me, at Magic Kingdom, it's definitely Haunted Mansion. Mostly because of the being scared of being in that dark ride. Like, that's a distinct memory of mine. You know, my dad would always force me to go on anything. Like, he wouldn't let me out of anything. That's why my earliest memory of Universal's Kong, because I was scared of that ride too. And my dad was like, "You're going on it," you know. So that's what kind of like, that's what I remember, my dad forcing me to go on scary rides.
Great.
It's
a great memory.
yeah, right. No, but and then Epcot, definitely Horizons, for the reason that you said, Rob, pushing the buttons and fighting over, like, you know, like my mom would always pick the one that I wanted and my dad was left out. Same thing. So the Horizons and doing that a whole bunch of times is usually like to try to do all the endings and all that. Definitely one of my earliest memories there. So, but you know, more recently, I only went to Disneyland for the first time like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So that I remember distinctly. And so the first thing I wanted to do at Disneyland was Pirates, because, you know, I heard, you know, how amazing it was. And yeah, so ran right to Pirates as my first Disneyland ride. And that was a good first Disneyland experience.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a cool
It's a good one.
first Disneyland experience. And then for California Adventure, it was Cars, Radiator Springs.
Yeah.
Ran right over to Radiator Springs Racers, and to this day, that's my favorite ride that I've ever been on. So I had good experiences at Disneyland, like, because I knew which one I wanted to go to. But I think we were like you guys, like when we went into the parks, we didn't have a strategy. It would be first ride. We always did that. So like the Hanna-Barbera ride, it's funny that you mentioned that. That was like one of my favorite rides as a kid.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was so good. It was
I
so
think
good.
that is probably my favorite Universal ride ever. And then Jaws
Wow.
is probably behind
Yeah?
that.
Yeah. And what's mine now?
Jaws.
Jaws, yeah.
Yeah. Hanna-Barbera had something that I don't think Universal rides usually have. It's usually something the Disney rides have more of. I think there was a sincerity and like it was heartfelt, right? It felt like a lot of thought and care, and that's probably more attributed to the Hanna-Barbera people than to Universal, right? Because I think they were just so. I mean, Hanna-Barbera were still alive, and I think they just cared about what the product was going to be. So it was something really special. If you've never watched it, please go watch it. It's really fantastic.
And that level of collaboration at that point with all the different cartoon characters from different properties, that was, as a kid, that was amazing. And they tried to do that with almost every ride since until this one, but it didn't feel the same as that.
No, I mean, think about the properties that are in that ride, right? It's the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo,
Yogi Bear.
I mean, it's the Mount Rushmore of Saturday morning cartoons.
Dick Dastardly.
You know, everyone on Earth watched
Muttley,
the Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, no, it was pretty fantastic.
Well, I got to thinking because I was sitting here, and when he said the first ride at California Adventure. We made the mistake of going in and riding the first thing, which was Superstar Limo.
That's some street cred, though. Your first DCA ride is Superstar
Limo.
Wow.
Because
she's over here talking about riding rocket rods and Superstar Limo.
I'm so jealous.
Because that was literally, I think DCA had been open maybe a couple months.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't a ton to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very short period of time in which Rocket Rods and Superstar Limo coexist.
Yeah.
It's not long, so you had to go in a 10-month period to see both of those.
Well, it would have been. It was a few years because I went on Rocket Rods when they first redid it. That was 90 when they first opened. It was 97.
98.
98, yeah. And then I was there at DCA when that opened in 2001.
Yeah. Yeah, because Limo only lasted 10 months. It was February to the end of the year.
It was
supposedly, It
was not very
They decided, they ran surveys, and they figured out that literally the park tested better if you just didn't have that open. It was better to have one less ride and that one less ride be Superstar Limo than to have more to do. People left happy.
Very rough. It was because it was literally you're supposed to be superstars in a limo. That was the setup, and it was one of the only things to do over at the Hollywood section.
Yeah, there's nothing, no Tower Terror yet.
No, there wasn't anything
Animation,
really there.
It was it was Muppets,
they had the show. They had a show over there. I think we watched Step in Time.
Steps in Time, yeah.
Steps in Time, which was fantastic.
That was we did the cruise, the Alaska cruise. There was ultimate Disney trivia, and so there were some hard park questions.
Yeah.
And one of them was, what was the show that opened with the Hyperion Theater? And I write it down. The lady at the end, you're going over the answer. She's like, does anyone know? And I go, Steps in Time, and she goes, in all the years I've worked at Disney Cruise Line, no one's gotten that correct. She's like, did you see it? I go, no. I was so confused. Why do you know this then?
Yeah, but no, I saw Steps in Time. And then, I said, Superstar Limo. So you're supposed to be these superstars in a limo, and it was literally just you go around a corner, and it was a really bad cardboard pop-up of
No,
celebrities.
they weren't even cardboard. They were weird dimensional.
Oh yeah, they were characters. They were characters, but at one point it was these really bad
with
pop-ups.
The money would pop out and the money would open because he was a millionaire.
Yeah. And it was just like I said, but it was almost these really bad pop-ups, and then there'd be a flash of a fake cardboard camera. You're just I don't know what any of this is. And you just walked off, and you're well, that was the thing we did.
That was your first ride at DC.
Yeah, that was my first one. Yeah. We're we should have gone right instead of left.
I mean, you're Soarin',
in your defense,
Soarin'.
in that time period in the park, it didn't get a whole lot better than that.
No,
just
they had
Soarin' would have been the only that and Screamin', right? Yeah.
So I think we went there, and then we walked over to Soarin' afterwards.
Funny enough, I think my first DCA ride is Monsters Inc. So Almost superstar limo.
Yeah.
Same vehicle, same props.
Oh, I think that ride's really good over there.
It's cute. Yeah, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
one.
I mean, it's no superstar limo, but
What
is?
What is, you know?
but yeah. So I think that was my first one at DCA.
So similar to the Hanna-Barbera Discovery, at some point, probably like 15 years ago, it happened to come. My mother, we were looking at old photos, and my mother was like reminiscing about the first time they took me. And I asked, I was like, do you remember what the first thing was? Dumbo, the first thing I went on? There was a picture of me on Dumbo with my father. And I was like, is that the first thing I went on? She goes, no, we went to Small World first, which I thought was interesting because I think we've deduced that my parents' first Disney ride is Small World. That wasn't even in a Disney park. It was the 1964 World's Fair. So their first ride was Small World, likely at the World's Fair. My first ride was Small World at Disney World. And then funny enough, when I went to Disneyland the first time, I did Small World first. And so there was a string of places where Small World was first. And then Tokyo, it almost didn't happen. Because the first time I went to Japan, Small World had been closed for like a year or so for them to redo it for the 35th anniversary. And so we got there and it still wasn't open yet. We got there a couple days before the event started. And we got it, and so it wasn't open, and we're like, I guess we'll do something else. It's like, let's do weird old Snow White. And so we got in line for Snow White, and then like we see people like start to rush towards Small World. We're like, oh my God, it's open. And so we jumped out of line at Snow White and went to Small World. And so Small World, again, was first there. I did that first in Paris, and then Shanghai ruined everything because they don't have It's a Small World because it's, you know, in a communist country. And it was decided they would not like a ride about world peace. So they do not have it. So it ended up being Pirates in Shanghai, and then I guess it was Small World again in Hong Kong. You were there, was it? Did we do Small World in Hong Kong?
I thought we did Mystic Manor.
Did we do Mystic first? At that point, I may have not cared because Shanghai broke the streak anyway.
Yeah, I think we did Mystic Manor.
It might have been Mystic Manor. It's possible. But yeah. So do we have any, I don't know if we have do we have super chats maybe that are related to this? Well, we'll catch up with the super chats anyway. Magical Journeys, no, we read that one. Matthew Bova, 999, where do I pay for Genie Plus access for the Disney fan program? No, you just go do work for free. They don't need you to do you don't have to pay anything. Just go work for free.
Don't give them ideas that now you have to pay the company to go and put
I
it
mean,
work.
at this point, they're not going to pay to do it. I'd rather just fix the place myself.
I'd
feel better about it. I'm not even joking.
Bring some light bulbs
I
and a
will
ladder.
go. If they let us, if they give us IDs, we'll just go around fixing things.
I remember years and years and years ago when Carousel of Progress was seasonal and it didn't work very well. There were people like on the
Oh, back when it was riddled with like squirrels showing up on a stage, the guy's hand would fall off back in the day when it didn't give a damn.
Like on internet forums and stuff, there were people that were like, I worked on railroads. I know how to fix the mechanism if Disney would just let me do it.
Yeah.
And so the fan program is that idea has been around for a long time.
It's no different than like the Carolwood Society, right? Where they it's all volunteer based. It's people just that care about the history, right? You know, it's no different. But I would just go around fixing things. Like,
Fix it, Corless.
Give me this.
Just take a Swiffer. You think you get a Swiffer through security?
I think we can. I think we should just go do it this week. I think we should just go wipe that wall. Is the dust still there? Has anyone been recently? I haven't been in a
I
couple
went 2
weeks.
days ago.
It's still there,
It was
the dust?
the same.
Okay, cool. We're going with the Swiffer then. All right.
I actually almost messaged you, but I knew you were still away. I was going to be like, no.
They charge you with theft for stealing the dust.
Stealing the dust from 1999.
You could put that with your cookie.
Bottle it.
That old Tower
cookie,
Terror
yeah.
cookie. The
Keep the dust in the freezer.
Oh my god.
Remembering the Dream 199 Jungle Cruise driving through the cave from my first. Yeah, okay. So Jungle Cruise was their first attraction. I'm going to decipher that.
No.
Pal W, $2. 1960s Catskills Carson City Railroad, Walt Disney World Railroad.
Maybe that was their first ride
Should I
ever.
Google what that is?
That was, I'm assuming they're saying that was their first ride ever, and then at Disney World it was the railroad.
I'm from the Catskills to Carson City is a really long train trip.
Yeah, right?
Well, especially if it's 1960s Catskills to 1971 Walt Disney World.
That's a real
train ride.
Really.
Yeah. I think I've seen that movie.
I'll have to look it up later. Nothing's coming up. Or explain. You don't
What
have to
is a
super
Carson
chat. You
City?
can just put in the chat. We'll look. Zeta Vision 3D, $5. I miss Hanna-Barbera and Jimmy Neutron. Both. Get out of here with Jimmy Neutron's a classic.
Oh, I love
Got a
Jimmy
blast!
Neutron too.
I'm glad I got to do them. Shame to see it all as Minions now. Look, I love Nicktoons. I grew up with Nickelodeon, but I did not like that ride.
My
That was part of the
sister-
reason we stopped going.
Yeah,
was
well, the
that
chicken
ride.
dance was stupid.
Oh,
my
the vehicle.
sister-
No,
that's
it
right. The
wasn't.
vehicle did the chicken.
That's why it was
so
stupid.
good.
My sister
It never
laughed
worked though. Just
I love the chicken
So
dance.
hard.
getting violently.
Why the,
kicked.
why the chicken
Between
dance?
that and Shrek, you just got thrown in chairs for 20 minutes.
What a dumb idea having a ride vehicle make you dance.
You know, I don't know if your joke's about Cosmic Rewind or Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters or
No,
I was thinking
Runaway
Mini
Railway.
Runaway Railway.
Railway. Yeah.
Railway.
There's a lot of dancing rides. Yeah,
Yeah,
all of them work
Luigi's,
better than
yeah.
Jimmy Neutron.
Yep.
Nah,
Got a blast.
I think what's a shame is that they made worse attractions a lot consistently. Like Hanna-Barbera was the best iteration of that.
Yeah.
And Alfred Hitchcock was probably going to be the best iteration of what's in that theater.
I mean, that's not saying much.
No, well, I know, but
I would literally rather watch windows with screens in them and figure out what people are doing than watch Shrek or ride the moving walkway.
The Minions
The
conveyor
moving
belt.
baggage belt.
Or ride the baggage belt at MCO.
Yeah.
that's an interesting point, though, Rob. If we go attraction by attraction, I think they downgraded more often than they upgraded.
Oh, Simpsons is worse than
yeah.
Back to the
Right?
Future,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because most of those things
Runaway Rails
are literally
worse
the same thing, just less maintained because it's older.
I think
Right? Like Neutron was the
Ghostbu-
same. It was the same stuff. It was all the same seats. and
Ghostbusters
everything.
was better than Twister and Jimmy Fallon, in my
Absolutely,
opinion.
Yeah. And a much more creative thing, right? Like
was it?
Yeah.
Twister ended up just being like a knockoff of Earthquake, which was down the street.
Was it
Right?
Mummy Kong.
Superstar? Not.
Best
not,
with Twister was the cow that flew in the air.
Yeah, but you saw the strings.
Well, yeah, I know.
They put white
that's
strings on it.
That's kind of what made
Yeah,
it funny.
I see it going by. All
Well,
right.
yeah, and again, you replaced Ghostbusters, which was just so lovable and entertaining and everything else about it. Yeah, it's funny.
The only cool thing about Twister was when people fell in the queue because the floor was uneven.
Yes.
That was my favorite.
That was
and they
the-
had to put the yellow tape down because people kept falling. Who was like sitting in that meeting going, in the queue, the floor is gonna be damaged. And so people like the floorboards will be uneven and there'll be parts that are raised. It's brilliant. What could go wrong? And then like the first wheelchair comes in and goes like this. Twister. Oh God. I mean, yeah, it's true of like Gringotts is worse than Jaws. Gringotts is not good.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to go through locations that have had multiple rides, and if it's been changed for the better or worse.
What was where
That could be
Men
a
in
thing.
Black is?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, they
That was
added
like an
yeah.
expansion pad.
Yeah. Okay.
Fear Factor was definitely worse than the Wild
Wild West
show.
was so fun.
I will say that Nightmare Fuel is better than Bill and Ted.
How dare you?
You just wanted them to get mad,
How
right?
Yeah.
dare you?
You need a comedy show at that event. I missed not having that.
It's something, I don't know. The event is missing something to break up. Like, it's all so serious, right? It's all very scary. And so, like, having this parody comedy show broke
They
up.
should name it something that gives you a clue that everything's going to be scary. Like Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, but just because it's called Horror Nights, you can't have something that's comedic in the middle of the 10 houses you've done. You're doing 10 houses, which are all just scary stuff. You
Some of
know,
the houses are comedic, like the Bugs. That was a comedic house.
some people were very afraid of that house.
No, but I know what you mean. But still, it was so different. But I also feel the problem is what's funny, allowed to be funny, I should
Well, yeah,
say, has changed.
they were
That's
tired
the
of getting
problem.
complaints, right?
Yes.
The year they had to stop Jack Sparrow because Disney yelled at them.
Yes.
The year they did the, what was it, Obama and who was he running against that year? I forgot. They got yelled at that year too. I think they got tired of that stuff. Yeah. It was hard to do that show and no one complained. Yeah. Anyway.
Carson City was a Wild West park in Catskill, New York.
Oh,
Wow, that
did not
that,
know that.
that sounds like a fever dream of something, right?
No.
Brennan Dautrell, $7. Yeah, 7. In order back in 1986, Mission to Mars, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Dumbo, when it was by the carousel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mission to Mars. Speaking of things with uncomfortable, weird seat
Yeah,
movements,
right?
right? That's the theme tonight. Rides with weird seat movement. Memeing and Dreamin', $7. Pretty sure my first ride was Stitch's Great Escape. Oh, no.
Wow.
Nice.
That shouldn't have been anybody's first ride ever, in case you were wondering. It won't be ever again.
Jake's going to take us off the air.
Oh, he's a fan of that ride?
Yep.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Man, that
know the
90210 joke was super relevant in 2004.
Pretty sure I know the first attraction I refused to go on, and that was Universal's Earthquake. Like after, because there was the first scene there that like, what is it? You're in the subway, or there was the pre-show whatever, and then
Well,
you
the
had
pre-show
to
was
board
like they cast you to be like someone was on the escalator and someone, all the different.
That was the
scenes. And then-
second pre-show.
Yeah.
That's true because the first one was the
Charlton
film.
Heston.
Charlton Heston and the screen raised and the model
Yes.
was there. Yeah.
And then that next.
Yeah.
But also as kids, we didn't have YouTube. There was no seeing the ride ahead of
You didn't
time.
know it.
So
Right.
as a little kid, you're stuck there shaking in your boots, and our parents were probably all
Yeah.
the same. Oh, I don't know what this one's gonna be. You know,
Well,
you didn't know what you were
Well, and this was,
expecting.
like,
Correct me if
before
I'm
you-
wrong. Did every ride didn't have the warning signs back then? I don't know that for sure. Were there, like roller coasters, sure, but did everything have like a description sign outside?
I don't
back
think-
then?
and even if it did,
You didn't
those,
read it.
what does it mean? I mean,
Yeah.
if you read even a Space Mountain sign, it could sound like it's really scary, and it's not that bad of a
Yeah.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I just remember like refusing to go on to like the subway car where everything like broke down, and I was just like, nope.
That was
My
scary for a
parents-
kid.
My parents just left me in like the trade-off section. They're like, we're going. Bye.
Well, the Universal theme was like, every ride was like, you're gonna die, right? It's like, shark's gonna eat you, giant ape's gonna rip you off
Except
this
E.T.
wire, and you're gonna plummet to
Not
your
E.T.
death. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, Back to the Future, the dinosaur tried to eat you, and what I
Yeah.
forget what else even happened. You crashed into a donut.
That, and I remember for me, I think I remember more of like the shows, like not, but like what is it, the ABC Superstar, the
Superstar Television?
television. I remember that. I remember
MGM.
walking through like the Nickelodeon.
Well, no, that was MGM.
No, Superstar Television
no, I know.
was it.
But I'm saying,
MGM.
I remember
Oh,
doing
okay.
that. I remember like on the same trip, like we went to, Universal. I remember going through the Nick Studios section, and then you could like, if you were chosen, you could try slime, like you could eat it.
We saw
Yep.
them film Wienerville.
Oh my goodness! I saw Clarissa
Look
Explains
up
It
Wiener.
All.
Actually, maybe don't. There was a show called Wienerville.
Yes.
There is some danger in Googling that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't search. Don't search last floor acronym Wienerville. Nick,
Yeah.
no. Don't.
Rule 34.
We lost Nick the rest of the show. There's no
Yeah.
game,
Can't
right?
cast.
There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of my
What are
favorites
all
back
these
then
X's?
was
So many.
Murder.
That's a Vin Diesel.
Murder, She Wrote. I thought was an awesome show back then,
Yeah.
where Transformers used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think more people would have gone to see Murder, She Wrote than Transformers.
Probably.
Even
One of those
today.
will draw infinitely better than the other.
You had to get rid of it. It's too. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous now, but it's funny.
Just have Optimus
Yeah.
Prime on a typewriter.
My first ride at Islands of Adventure was Hulk. Was that
Oh my
one?
God, what's the first thing we did at
Yeah.
Islands?
Actually,
I
no.
think Cat in the Hat.
We did Dr. Doom's
I think I did
Fearful.
Spider-Man first.
We went in order. We actually went around the park in order.
We did Dr. Doom first because the guidebook said that has the longest wait, so do Dr. Doom first and then circle back and do Hulk.
No.
Well, you know what's funny? It really used to have a very long wait because it was such a slow. You only had the two
It
launch
still
things.
is. It still is
See,
ridiculous.
every time I go there, I feel like it's nobody else is on it. I just walk on.
That is the best cue for the absolute dumbest thing.
Yeah, it's a good cue.
The effort that someone put into that queue for the ride that comes after it, I don't understand. Even the Maliboomer at California Adventure, they were like, no queue. You stand in the sun and then it shoots you in the air. That's it.
Yeah.
And Universal was even like, going to sculpt these robot guys and they're going to be everywhere.
But again, depending on your age, it's kind of scary. I think that's the whole point. They don't, you're in this dark room, you're inside the whole line, and then they shoot you outside. You know?
But you also like enter it outside. It's not like it's covered when you get on.
Yeah, you know what it is.
So the door opens and you're like, oh, I'm outside again.
They wanted to.
You're like, oh, it's the county fair again that I saw from the outside.
They wanted to compete with Tower for less money, and it's something you can see from the highway, so it draws people in.
They made it out of Tinker Toys.
What
Latvia?
Latvia?
Yeah.
The Latvia County Fair?
Yeah.
And he's such a good
I think
villain,
Latvia's
too.
a real country, isn't it?
Latveria? Is it Latveria? It's one or the other.
It's
One
a
of them's real,
made-up
one's fake.
country. Hold on, we got to Google
Latveria?
this now. Where is Dr.
I've watched
Doom
enough Marvel. One of those better be right. It's Latveria, then.
Latveria. Okay. Now we know. There are more. Here we go. There's more of these. Michelle E. 999. Seriously, Tom, I'm down for the Citizens of Hollywood thing. I will be there in January. We just have to get Disney to let us do it. Just let us be streetmosphere.
I'm just picturing yelling, "Hey, Eric!
We
shut
are the
up.
people of California."
Just me in the loud. It's just our costumes from this show. You just show up as Florida man. No one knows you're even a character. He's always at the Sunshine Day bar. He's just always there. Franny Gillanders, $5. We did a VIP tour at Universal 92. My first ride was Jaws. Yeah. Call off the Marines. Pal W, $2. Carson, yeah, there you go. Carson City was at Wild West Park in Catskill, New York. New York had a lot of weird theme parks that closed, including Freedom Land, which was built by people who Walt Disney fired.
Yep.
So my parents actually went to a park built by people Disney fired before they went to a Disney park. It was in the Bronx.
Now that's all theme parks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
Bridget Kelly, $5. Mine was Alien Encounter when I was 7. Yeah, 7. It ruined my whole vacation because I thought every ride was going to be that scary. It was awful. No, not Alien
That's
Encounter.
terrible parenting decision right there.
Yep.
No offense. I hope your parents aren't watching.
I want to know if it was her decision to do it though.
Okay.
Well, it's one of the first things you see when you
If you
come in
went
the park.
that way, yeah.
Yeah.
It would.
This has no line. Let's go on this.
There's no Delta
In the
Dream Flight.
beginning, it had a line, not so much
No, it-
after. but-
That-
Then there was Timekeeper, which no one could figure out there was a thing there.
Yeah.
Everyone just saw that thing and was like, is this a store? I don't know what this is. There's a spaceship here. No one could figure out how to walk between those pillars. That's why they ripped them down a couple years ago. They're like, we found that guests have a hard time deciphering how to walk between pillars. We think it'd be best to just rip this down.
Now that we're giving them an app that makes them look at their phone all day, we should move these pillars.
People keep walking into this steel girder. We want to move this somewhere. That's all the super chats. We had some people talk about their first rides. Does anyone in the crowd remember their first ride? Space Mountain. All right.
That was your first? How old were you? 9. All right.
9. Okay. Ready in the chat.
No, it depends. See, it depends. You gotta know your kid. Like I remember I took one of my kids on Barnstormer when he was 2, my older one, and he wanted to go. That was it for roller coasters. He's 11 now. We still don't do roller coasters. He doesn't like the drop feeling.
I took my youngest daughter when she was 2 on Matterhorn.
Okay.
Because back then, Matterhorn had like a 34-inch height requirement.
Wow.
They had to sit with you though in the lap.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, you were seat belted together, tandem. But I took her on Matterhorn.
Did she like it though?
She loved it.
Yeah.
She loves roller coasters now.
Everybody's different. It's amazing.
I took my daughter on Matterhorn. I'm trying to think. Let's say she would have been 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
And we got in the thing because you have to sit, like she had to sit in front of me.
Yeah.
And like she was crying the whole time. I was like, dude, you made the agreement, getting into the line. Like we're doing this. And it was her and then me and then my friend's daughter and then my friend was in the car behind us. And the cast member was just like, because he didn't know that she was with us, the cast member was like, man, that's an awful parent and stuff. And she just looks at him, she goes, I'm with them. Because I knew she'd be fine once we got off, because we got off of it, and she was like, I want to go do it again. And I was like, well, the park's closed now, we can't. But yeah, the cast member was just like, that's awful. Did you see that kid? He was crying. It's awful parenting. My friend was literally like, I'm with them.
So, given the Disney fandom, I know there's plenty of people watching where and you'd be surprised on this show, we have people that watch the show that have never even been to Disney World before, believe it or not. Very few, but they exist. They're Disneyland people, right? And vice versa. And so I want to ask the question is, as obviously there's a show for Disney fans, what is the thing they should do first at different parks? Eric, I'm sure you're going to say Pirates for Disneyland.
Yep. Absolutely.
That makes sense to me. I mean, that was
I'd agree with that.
But it's also hard to answer that question because I think you got to know the group and why you're going there and the ages of the people and what you like.
Well, Pirates is for everybody, right?
No, I know what you're. But it still might not be the best thing if you're going with like maybe a 3-year-old or something. Maybe you're better off going. Maybe you're better off on Runaway Railway or Disney Junior.
Rob, just leave. You want a child's first ride to be Runaway Railway?
If you have a 3-year-old that grew up watching
in a
whatever.
Park with the original Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think it depends on who you are.
Walt Disney walked through that building. You want them to go ride the thing built in what was nothing in that part.
I want to watch you one day take a kid for the first time and they have to do it like specifically your way because I think it would be the funniest thing to watch.
I think they would love it.
They might. I don't know what you're going to do.
I would take them on Pirates.
I can see the kid at one point though being like, "There's a Mickey Mouse ride. I want to go on it." No, kids, you're not going on that Mickey Mouse ride.
Horror stuff.
If you're a small kid, maybe not Mansion.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it really depends. It depends on the family.
You could be afraid of pirates, I guess.
Like that was I know for me, like I was 5. I think Peter Pan was probably a good choice at that age.
What is the conversation happening back there?
No, nothing.
No, now I need to know.
I was just seeing if we were going to talk about every ride we've ever been on to make this segment last an hour.
What are you, Jason? Jason's not even complaining about going to bed yet. You guys could have drank Beverly for longer, and I could have ended this sooner.
You still could end it
You
sooner.
still there's no obligation to last 3 hours.
I said part of the conversation would be what do we think people should do first if they go to a certain Disney park.
Oh.
That would be part of the conversation. Well, we don't have to spend an hour discussing. I'm just asking. We've got
Too
to
late.
one. We could have written more monologue too. Go ahead. We want to get out of here.
All right,
Pirates. Everywhere pirates.
Pirates everywhere.
Let's go.
As much as I sort of made fun of people for going on Spaceship Earth first when they go into Epcot, I think that's the best ride to go on first.
You have to understand what Epcot was. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I think Pirates, Spaceship Earth, they set the story for Disney storytelling. It's stuff that's different. It's not, a roller coaster. It's something different that...
quintessential Disney.
Also, there's not really any better rides at Epcot than Spaceship Earth. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if they're gonna like
I think
Digging
cosmic
at
reward,
Guardians.
but in order to understand what Epcot was, right? Because otherwise you walk through that park and you'd be like, well, I don't know what this is. But I think if you wrote Spaceship Earth, you might have some idea. You might be like, all right, I get it. All right, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean, but educational.
And I think
But I think Pirates is a good measuring stick globally, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I think
go-
that's the first thing we're doing. I'm taking my parents to Paris for the first time, but we also were like that was always our favorite thing. And, you know, that was always my mother's favorite ride. So I mean, it's an easy decision for Paris. Like, yeah, we're going to Pirates first.
I think for Hollywood Studios, I think they just need to find the great movie ride on YouTube and watch that first, and then actually write stuff at.
What would you do
Studios.
first now? Tower if they're able.
Like Tower and
a lot of
Rocket,
people
if
can't
you're-
do those
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Well,
A
that's
lot
what
of
I'm
people
saying.
can't do
It
Sunset,
depends on
right?
the. It depends on the. Like if you have a.
Runaway Railway.
But like,
Oh!
if you're with a family member that loves Toy Story, you're gonna go to Toy Story
Yeah.
Mania. I could say, like, I could
Yeah.
see
You know,
you
given
doing
what's
that.
left in that park, I don't even hate that answer. I
Star
don't
Wars
even
is
hate
the hard
that.
one. If you're a Star Wars, Star Wars. That park is a hard one because Star Wars, like if you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna run right there.
Rides,
If you're
yeah.
thrill ride, you could do that.
And I think
If
you're trying to think of almost like,
kids-
what's the flagship? What's the thing you're going to go
Yeah.
into that park
I don't
that's
think
going to
that one
explain
has
that
it.
park?
There isn't.
They don't all have that.
There
anymore.
isn't one at
There isn't one at
Studios.
Studios anymore.
No,
No.
but I think Nick hit the nail on the head where it depends on that park in particular. I think really matters
Yeah.
what the person likes because there's no clear answer, so it becomes
If you like
oh,
Star Wars, you go
I'm
to
going
Star
this
Wars.
side. Dude, I have a
Toy
kid that likes
Story.
Toy Story. We're going this
And,
way.
and
Or
if you're
thrill
dumb, you
rides.
go on Runaway Railway first.
And a lot of people do
Yeah.
Slinky Dog
Or thrill rides.
as
you
the
head
first thing
to
in the park because
Rockin' and
for a
Tower.
lot of kids the height requirement's low enough. It's like their first coaster for some guests. So
Yeah.
And Animal Kingdom would be the safari, right?
Safari.
It's got to be. I
Yep.
think we got to agree on that.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been Primeval World, but not anymore.
I think as a
What about-
Disney fan, it should be Dinosaur. But
Now, I'll
also,
ta-
you might want to hurry because it may not be there much longer.
Now, I'll tell you what, not knowing what the park was, because it was new, my first time in Animal Kingdom, you wanted to see what was in the Tree of Life. I went on top to be a bug
Do you
first.
know what we did first at Animal Kingdom?
I can't wait to hear.
The Discovery Riverboat.
Oh, that's right. That's
Of
right.
course, I hated that park for the longest.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
Yep.
And then we saw the Jungle Book show. It was the worst day of my life. We waited
That's funny.
45 minutes for that boat. And then we saw Jungle Book, and I just was like, what have they done? Why did they build another park?
Can we leave?
Yeah.
We were done. 2 o'clock, we were out of there. I was like, we're never going back there, I
Yeah,
don't
after
think.
doing those 2 rides, there's no wonder it was called Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah. Dinosaur was the
whole
only thing I
park
rode
was.
that day where I was like, oh, I like
Yeah.
that. That was fun.
Yeah.
I'd go back for that.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Like, my mom's got the magnet because my dad and my sister came down and were here for, like, not too long after Animal Kingdom opened. And so they brought back, like, the Countdown to Extinction magnet.
Yeah. The one with the big Carnotaurus and Mickey's, like,
Yeah.
shit in his pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know how to explain his pose. He's, like, looking up. And he's
Yeah.
back towards you.
They could bring it all back when they're going to close the ride for the Moana and
I
Zootopia.
beg them,
Countdown,
like,
the countdown
you would print
magnets.
money.
Yeah.
You would print money if you did Countdown to Extinction merchandise for the closure of that ride.
Yeah.
If anyone with a brain is listening, just do it. People will. You'll make more money than that ride has made in its entirety. God. So we talked about Animal Kingdoms, Epcot, Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
we got
got
Florida covered. DCA, it's got to be Radiator Springs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Past. There's nothing else I would even.
I like Mission Breakout, depending on who you go with.
I don't know about first.
Nah, not
Do
first.
you like Mission?
But do
guess
you want
if
to do
they're
the
like
best?
hardcore
Do you want to
Marvel
do the
people.
best thing first? Also, like
That's
I think
true,
if I
you're
if-
setting
I
yourself
don't know
up for
about it being the
disappointment.
best. I think it's the thing that like sets the tone of what the park is, right? I think
Yeah.
Pirates sets the tone at Disneyland of what that park is, right? It's Walt's park, it's his original vision, and then here's like his last great thing.
Yeah,
And
but
I
how
think
does
it's-
Racers set the tone for DCA?
It doesn't. It's just
It's just a lot of
good.
Well,
The
yeah.
rest of the park isn't. So
It
it's
sets you
like,
up for
yeah.
disappointment, is what it does.
I mean, Breakout's good. I wouldn't be mad if someone did Mission Breakout first.
It's not for everybody, though. Yeah.
No, it's not, right? Like Tower of Terror,
Yeah.
it's the same discussion. It's not something for everybody. Then we were at Disney Sea for my parents' first time. We did Indy first, just because it's where we ended up at Rope Drop. I don't know. It was a weird.
How did you end up there?
I don't remember why. I think it's because we bought Premier Access for Journey, and then Tower was delayed opening. We went to Tower and it didn't open, and so I was like, I guess we'll run back to Indy and get that over with. And then also my mother agreed to do it, and she doesn't do thrill rides, and so it was like, oh, we'll all go do this together, and it was nice. It was a weird choice, but it ended up working out.
I mean, by what we're talking about, I think your first ride at studio should be one man's dream then, based on everything we're saying here.
If it were a ride.
As a Disney fan,
attraction, whatever.
You might really love that as your first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that actually does set the stage
That's what
for
I'm saying.
studio.
If you want to set your stage.
It absolutely does.
I mean, it would have been, I would say, what, Backlot Tour in the day?
Yeah.
Or movie ride,
Probably
yeah, or movie ride.
Probably.
Followed
Either
by
one of
Backlot.
those, right? Yeah.
So yeah, Backlot when you still had all the houses and Catastrophe Canyon.
When
And,
Rob worked there.
Yeah. Real tour guides.
Yeah.
Do we have any more?
Before
We
you
have
put
some
up the-
Retro Red, $5. In 1998, first ride Magic Kingdom Splash Mountain. That would have been my Magic. We didn't actually do Magic Kingdom, did we? That would have been my Magic
said
Kingdom is
Pirates.
Splash. What
Well,
would
you all said
what would
Pirates.
you do now?
Pirates.
Pirates and Magic Kingdom.
That's what I thought you guys were saying.
Yeah.
No, I thought that's what you were saying.
Disneyland.
Well, I mean, that's what I said. I'm happy with mine,
Not
which
at
was
Magic
Peter
Kingdom.
Pan. I think Peter Pan's a good
Peter Pan's a
intro.
good one, yeah. I don't know what else. Mansion, if they're not babies, yeah. I don't know what else. Yeah, I would.
Carousel of Progress.
Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, it doesn't open when the park opens.
Neither does Bears or Tiki Room.
Nope.
Yeah.
Bears would
No,
be
I
my
think Jungle Cruise is a good one though.
Jungle Cruise
Yeah,
makes
that's not a-
sense too. That's a
Yeah.
good one, too.
Yeah.
But hey, Splash Mountain, Epcot, Spaceship Earth, Universal would have been Back to the Future. Are they saying that was your first? Yeah. There you go. That's it. That's our discussion. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We still have Man vs. Park. Joe, shut up! Jesus,
We're doing a show,
there's
Joe.
a show here.
Shut up, Joe.
God,
Why don't you come up here and share with the class? No, just kidding.
please don't come up here. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we still have Man vs. Park, the Beverly Challenge, and more. Stick around.
Hey everybody, Aunt Cassie to tell you about the opening of our second dining location. Due to popular demand, especially with men ages 18 to 34, we're opening a new Aunt Cass Cafe on the waterfront here in San Fransokyo Wharf. On the menu you'll find our curried beef or thick white chowder spilling out of my bowls. Or how about a creamy and decadent mac and cheese that'll make your face melt? Get your noodle wet in my salad with tofu, corn, scallions, and more. And for dessert, dig into my fluffy cheesecake. Woo. Is it getting steamy in here from all the rice, or is it just me? I bet all this heat is making you thirsty. Then grab one of my famous Aunt Cass thirst traps. There's a sticky honey lemonade, a tempting caramel cream cold brew, and my peach soju citrus cocktail that will make any lips pucker. So grab a seat, a filling meal, and if you behave, you can pet my pussycat. The Aunt Cass Cafe in San Fransokyo Wharf, opening this hot summer.
They say we are what we are, but we don't have to be. I'm a bad behavior, but I do it in the best way. I'll be the watcher of the eternal flame. I'll be the guard dog of all your favorite dreams. Oh, oh, oh. We can be immortals forlorn. Live with me forever. Now pull the blackout curtains down. Just not for long, and we could be immortals.
Tonight at 11 on ITM Nightly News, firefighters are being banned from Disney by the government. Florida residents should watch out for Death Eaters. Glowing toys will be a smash hit at the Magic Kingdom if one guest has his way. All this and more on ITM Nightly News at 11.
Welcome back to News Tonight, where someone is not a fan of my Aunt Cass ad. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. All right. Anyway, let's see what's coming out this week in the App Store. Be sure to download TikTok. Let's see what's coming up on the show, shall we? Oh, that was abrupt. All right. Well, next week is our celebration of 7.
7?
Yeah, 7. It is episode 2, 5, and 7.
7?
Yeah, 7. So next week we're celebrating the original test track as well. Nick has a fairly psychotic game we're going to play, and as well, the top 7 is back, and it'll be our top 7 attraction quotes in Walt Disney World history. You can probably guess what mine's going to be. September 7th, the Family Feud is back. September 14th, where in the world is Tom Corless? Someone has a chance to win a Walt Disney World hotel vacation. And as well, on at the end of September, we're going to be playing one more time Lost in Translation.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I like
all that and more coming up in the show. Join us in person. Get your tickets at WDWNewsTonight.com or watch us right here on WDWNT TV. And we thank you for doing so. Nick, who do we thank for bringing us the show every week as well?
Well, I thank you, Tom.
Aw.
But more importantly, we thank Be Our Guest Vacations.
More importantly than me.
Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head over to beourguest.com/WDWNT and their team will design your next magical vacation. From the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more, all those places. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours where you and your tour group can experience the ultimate park day. Maybe, I don't know if they do this, maybe they'll help you plan which attraction to go on first. They might do that. They'll have some tips.
Who's on first?
But you know what the best part is, Tom?
What is it?
Their concierge services are free.
I was loud. There were so many people in here.
so booked today.
Man, good thing Derry brought the audio
God.
levels down so we didn't blow out all the equipment. Big crowd.
Yes.
Good thing we rolled in those bleachers in the back this week.
Oh my goodness, there are a lot of people here.
Yeah.
And they're all staring at us.
You didn't hear during the commercial break they were doing We Will Rock You? They were banging on their feet on them?
No.
Dun, dun,
Look at everybody yells free in the chat too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do they yell news in the chat at the beginning of the show? They do? Yeah, all right, good.
No, you can't see it because it's angled this way.
No,
You're all the way over.
we train them well.
Yeah, we train them well. Wow.
What else can I make them say? Yup.
Comments?
I got them.
Walt Disney presents
All right, first story. Earth removed for refurbishment from Mission Space entrance at Epcot.
Yeah.
C. Random wrote, the first 4 words alone were a perfect headline. Doc Whiskey wrote in, Galactus didn't want to wait at quick service. That's it. I knew someone would get that.
The nerd got it.
Yeah, that's a
Nerd.
that's a nerd joke.
That was funny.
That was my nerd detector joke. All right, this one kind of too. 6 Miles Tall wrote, that's so Hitchhiker's Guide of them. Liam from Orlando wrote, can they remove the rest of the ride?
There it is.
Keep going. Keep going, right? At Feed the Birds, phew, thought we had another Buzzy on our hands.
It's me rolling it into the parking lot. Nick, open the trunk. I can't, it's already full.
Next
people.
Next story, parking trams will return to Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios in September. At Disney Rover wrote, spoiler, won't actually be running. It's part of the new walk-by attraction experience. Yep.
The journey, it's the journey of people presented by Moana.
At Cali Penguin 2, wow, they must be getting worried about those attendance numbers to bring back such a feature.
People booking trips right now.
Because of the tram.
I heard the trams are coming back. Can we book a hotel?
At Nancy Revsdo, Tom's new prayer. Dear Lord, in our benevolent wisdom and grace, I present myself on bended knee to ask you, please bestow Disney management with the wisdom to return the citizens of Hollywood to the streets of Hollywood studios. In Figment's name, I pray. Amen.
Everyone make the sign of the pyramid.
This next one, yuck. Now the parking lot will smell like diesel fuel. Hashtag air pollution is never acceptable.
I'm going to go by the trams and just go like this.
Never.
What was that, Eric?
From someone who presumably parked a car there.
Someone who presumably parked a car. Yeah, it's fair. Your car run on diesel? Park my Mack truck in the Epcot parking lot. They're not diesel, right? I was going to say, the tram isn't.
Nah.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Now, no, the newer ones I think are the same as what the safari trucks run on, which is natural gas. Yeah.
Natural gas.
Well, I think the ones they're bringing back just have holes in the floor. We do the Flintstone style.
Yeah, they
don't have to hire drivers.
The ones at Disneyland don't. Am I crazy? Isn't the Disneyland ones are running on the French fry oil? Is that crazy?
Is that a thing?
I don't remember. Maybe that's just the train. I might be mixed up. Something there runs on French fry oil.
All right, stroller parking sign installed for Journey of Water, inspired by Moana at Epcot. At Boots 173, wow, groundbreaking. A Florida resident had popcorn today at the Magic Kingdom. Psychotic.
I think it's interesting that there's stroller parking for, and they're not encouraging you to bring the stroller into the walkthrough that exits on the other side.
Yeah. At Ed Chapman, perfect. The Journey of Water will be paired with the Sea of Strollers.
And I will part the sea. I'm joking. A cast member will part the sea, and then the parents will come out of Journey of Water and go, where's the stroller? Oh my God. Oh, they moved it. That's what happens at every attraction.
We tweeted out this picture of the Figment bags here, one little bag of inspiration.
Yeah.
Well, at Gumshoe Goof wrote, the use of Figment without refurbishing imagination appropriately is as if Disney figured out how to grind them up and repackage them as sausage.
How dare you?
Know,
This
right?
is the bag of our savior.
I would get a Figment, egg, and cheese in the morning if they served
Right?
it.
Oh my God, delicious. This next story, Zach Ridley, promoted to Walt Disney Imagineering Global Creative Strategy Executive. At Real Will Moore said, get ready for the world's most magical celebration of floors.
I still don't think it's a real promotion. I think it was just like a way, like he has too much, he's been there too long and no one can fire him, so they just like pushed him off somewhere where he can't do any more damage.
Wow.
They're like, you messed up Epcot. Here's a job title, go do something. Okay. You can't post on Instagram anymore though. Please stop, okay. I won't.
Last story, Journey of Water inspired by Moana to have dry path option, no Magic Band Plus interactions. No. At Disney Mike said, sounds like my dating life.
Wow. Wow. Katie will explain it to you later. What? She looked confused. I don't know.
She left.
Yep. Happens with most employees. They leave at some point. You've been here a while somehow. I don't know. Samantha, $10. My first ride I remember was the Magic Carpet. I'm sorry. Oh, it was the VR one at Disney Quest Chicago. Wow. Disney Quest Chicago is one of the best parts of my childhood. And now it is the finest furniture store. That's what it became. It became a furniture store. Also, the... I forget what the thing in the Ventureport was called, the big light-up telescope thing. That's in Space Mountain Load area at Hong Kong.
What did the Disney Quest in Orlando become?
The NBA. Was it the shrink? It was a Wayne Zielinski thing? Yeah. I know he had a weird connection because he was Virtual Jungle Cruise was Wayne Zielinski.
You could never catch the thing.
I fell off of that raft no less than 10 times. Just right off the back of that stupid raft.
Did you ever go to the Chicago one?
No.
No.
But yeah, it was the shrink ray was what was in Ventureport there.
Huh. It was a very weird artistic interpretation of it, but yeah. Yeah. Right. Zach Barnett, what was?
Slide leading to nowhere.
Yeah. I just remember RC cars on the floor.
Yeah.
The Maya, what was it called? Treasure of the Incas?
Of the Jewel?
The Mayas?
Oh, that's it. Mayan Temple.
But then it caught fire and they closed it.
Well, and once the cars got stuck funny, that was it. It was stuck funny.
Yeah, but one of the cars caught fire. And they couldn't figure out how to get in the floor and put it out. So at that point, they're like, we need to close this. And they got rid of it. Yeah. Just like the Minion blast guns caught fire. Oh, we haven't posted that. Oops. All right, move on. Why was that ride delayed? I have no idea. Zach Barnett, $9.99. Every year on People Mover, my dad would exclaim, oh, this is a roller coaster now, to my mother, who was terrified of roller coasters during the Space Mountain scene that she bought it every single year. My mother doesn't like to go on the People Mover because even though she's been on 100 times, she somehow thinks it's going to magically become a roller coaster in Space Mountain.
Like the tracks just get...
Yeah, she just thinks like they changed it every time. She still freaks out about that part. Pal W, $2. Remember riding all 3 rides at the World's Fair? Well, the Disney rides, I assume you mean. That would have been Carousel Progress, Ford Magic Skyway, and I guess Carousel Progress, Small World. But there was also Lincoln. Lincoln wasn't a ride. Yeah. You couldn't ride Lincoln.
Missed opportunity.
I give up. All right, I think we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to watch people try to drink soda. It's harder than you think. See why. Who's that resort chair?
Every year, Disney brings the Halloween spirit to you from August to November. Then we dazzle you with holiday delight all through pretty much the entire winter. And now, Disney is proud to offer our next hard ticket after-hours event, Mickey's most memorable Memorial Day military muster. Kick off the official start of summer with us on select dates starting in February. Join us for the official beginning of the event every night with the Town Square Flag Retreat. And when the flag goes down, the party goes up. Experience exclusive giveaways like the Potato Salad Trail and the Baked Bean Bash in Tomorrowland. Eat exclusive burgers and hot dogs, which are totally not our normal burgers and hot dogs. And experience exclusive patriotic character meet and greets like Ichabod Crane and Mirabelle. And don't forget Moana in her patriotic garb. And get ready to experience our attractions as we overlay them with special tributes to our armed services. Join the Navy for Haze Gray and Underway, It's a Small World, as your Navy vessel promotes world peace. Or join the Marines over at Princess Fairy Tale Halls of Montezuma, where a real Marine Corps drill instructor will take your picture.
When I tell you to smile, you understand me?
Sail through all 50 stars on the flag aboard Space Force Mountain, or join Dumbo's Air Force, or join the Army to take on America's enemies on Buzz Lightyear Castro blasters, or join the Coast Guard on the Jungle Cruise, which will pretty much just be the same Jungle Cruise you're used to. You can also check out the Hall of Presidents, where the Vice Presidents are included only during this event, or the Mad Boston Tea Party. Sam the Eagle takes center stage in his production of A Salute to All Countries, but mostly America, and other surprises along the way, like Stitch being deported for being an illegal alien. And you won't want to miss our Red, White, and Blue to You parade, and cap off the night with our newest and biggest nighttime spectacular, God Bless American Firepower, brought to you by China. So kick off your summer with Mickey's most memorable Memorial Day military muster, coming select dates in February, March, April, and May, all starting at just $149.99. Join us to start your summer right, only at the Magic Kingdom.
Tomorrow's child, gathering gifts from our past. Tomorrow's child, shaping a world that will last, holding the spark as we embark on a great journey together. We're learning to reach for hope and desire, building a world that inspires. Tomorrow's child, tomorrow's child, charting a brand new day. A future world is born today.
Tonight at 11 on ITM Nightly News, religious fanatics are buying these purple backpacks at Epcot. A diner at Universal is being closed after a number of guests die in the building. And Disneyland closed early, and it was all Hillary's fault. All this and more on ITM Nightly News at 11.
It's the Scary Nanny Chair. All right.
Sure.
Time for The Price is Right. Da-da-da-da. All right, let's see what's happening, what's coming out this week on Nintendo Switch. Redhead Redemption. She's back. She's out for revenge. Man versus Park. Obviously there are a lot of park-related challenges you can do, but I think there's one that many a guest has tried, and that's to drink Beverly. And so, of course, it was inevitable that there would be a Man versus Park involving Beverly. It was also inevitable that Nick and I would both not be there. Here's what happened.
Eric here, Man vs. Park. You can see Tom's not here, Nick's not here. I was given very little guidance. We're at Club Cool to do something called the Beverly Challenge. As you can imagine, that means drinking Beverly. Not everyone's favorite beverage. If you've had it before, you know why. Beverly is described as an aperitif. Some say it's like tastes like ground up grapefruit rind. I don't know. It's not very good. If you want to learn more about Beverly, I guess check the dictionary between barf and blech, and maybe you'll find it. I don't know. Either way, I don't want to disrupt other guests. I don't want to disrupt the place. It's hard to do a challenge like this without getting in people's way. So a couple ground rules. We're going to go in there and we're going to get Beverly and put it into a larger cup for people to drink out of. We will only go one trip at a time. I don't want to clog up the place. I don't want to cause a scene in there. We'll buy stuff from in there so that we're also patronizing the establishment that we're kind of using as a backdrop for our content. We'll be very polite. Basically, the rules are going to be, we're going to get several of the small cups of Beverly, put them into a bigger cup, and each competitor is going to get a chance to drink it. We will time them, I guess, and see who can conquer the Beverly Challenge. Come on. First competitor, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Jason. Usually I stand in for Eric, who stands in for Jill, who stands in for Tom on News Today. But here, I'm here to drink Beverly.
Are you representing yourself only?
I'm representing
your whole
myself
family?
only.
All right.
And my whole family will disown me after this.
Have you had Beverly before?
So here's the thing. I haven't had Beverly in like 25 years.
What do you remember about it?
It tastes like, I don't know, lighter fluid or something. It's bad.
So you're looking forward to this?
No.
Do you think you can win?
No.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Jason. Best of luck to you.
All right, thanks.
All right, we have our next competitor. What is your name?
Sabrina.
And Sabrina, what is your astrological sign?
I am a Capricorn.
Are Capricorns known for drinking Beverly?
Capricorns are known for doing whatever we please, whatever we want.
Okay.
So, yes.
And have you had Beverly before?
I have.
And what were your impressions?
It is not my favorable drink of choice.
What, if you had to compare it to something else you've eaten or drank before, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. One time I had soured milk. It was very similar to that, but less chunky.
And do you think you can make a Beverly-based drink on liquid magic with Nick?
I mean, I think we could definitely try. Will it be good? Probably not. Will it be any worse than any of the other drinks we've made? Probably not.
And do you think you have a good chance of winning this challenge?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much and best of luck.
How much lower he has. He has to like bend down almost to like get
All right, please tell everyone your name.
I'm Miss Allison.
Miss Allison, it looks like you've been preparing for the Beverly Challenge by drinking what appears to be grass clippings and milk?
That's exactly right, Eric. It is, in fact, grass clippings from the hub from Magic Kingdom. They kind of put them in a blender, they add some cream to it, and then voila,
it's like
you have the beverage.
Dust.
It's very much like pixie dust, Eric.
That's good. That's illegal in 6 states. All right, so you know why you're here, right? You know what we're doing.
Yes, we're drinking a lot of Beverly.
Beverly, it's from Italy. Is it your favorite Italian drink?
It's very close. It's neck and neck with other beverages that I can't recall from Italy.
Would you rather drink this Italian beverage or eat from the Italy booth? Gotcha.
I don't know. It depends how much. How much Beverly am I drinking today, and versus how much food would I have to consume from the booth?
I think we're going to be drinking about 12 ounces.
About 12 ounces? I don't know.
Depending on what gets spit out.
That's going to be the next Man versus Park, is going to be how much food from the Italy booth can you hold down.
And have you had Beverly before?
I have had Beverly before.
And what were your impressions?
It is very bitter. I've heard somebody say that it tastes like the rind of a grapefruit, and I would agree with that statement.
That is true. And is there anything else that you would compare it to besides the rind of a grapefruit? I don't eat a lot of grapefruit rind, so.
It's trash. I don't know. It's just horrible.
Well, it sounds like you're going to do great. Do you think you have a good chance in this challenge?
I think so. I came prepared. I've dressed for my own funeral, as you can see from inevitably when I pass out from drinking all the Beverly.
Alice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Isn't that what you're supposed to say? She looks so natural.
I try. I have, just in case I get a headache or a stomach ache, I've also come prepared, so I got these as well.
So we thought about making people just drink who could drink the most Beverly, but we thought that could be literally a health hazard. Like, some lady died from drinking too much water recently, so I don't want to...
That's true. That's the thing that happened.
Yeah,
that is true.
Jim, we're going to limit the intake for a number of reasons, but best of luck to you.
Thank you, Eric.
I think you have a great chance. All right, can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Katie.
And Katie, what do you do for the company?
I'm the camera operator for News Tonight and the video editor for mainly food reviews.
There you go. So a lot of people think maybe as a young college student you have an advantage in this competition. I would think you have an advantage because you have probably consumed more non-alcoholic beverages at Epcot than I have.
Yes, that would be true.
A lifetime of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what do you know about Beverly? Have you had Beverly before?
I had Beverly years ago. I don't really remember it. I know it wasn't great.
It hasn't like haunted your dreams though?
No, I thought it was more funny than anything.
So we have this trend where the last three competitors are very short people. Do you feel that gives you an advantage or disadvantage?
I think it gives me an advantage because I'm lower to the ground, so it takes less effort.
I feel like if you fall down from the bad taste, it's less distance to fall.
Probably be safer.
What do you think your chances are of winning?
Probably slim. I've never had alcohol, so I don't know what chugging a beverage would be like. I have Shirley Temples. That's what I drink.
Well, this is no Shirley Temple. You're going to need to steel your nerves a little bit for this one, but I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, we're going to do a random number 1 through 5 to see who goes first. I was 1, Jason was 2, Sabrina was 3, Allison's 4, and Katie was 5. 3. That's Sabrina. All right, Sabrina, you're first up. Let's go fill your Beverly. That worked. All right, so we think. Ready? We think these cups are 3 ounces, and 4 of them will fill this 12-ounce cup, right?
Oh, that's pretty close.
I think we're pretty close there. Pretty close to full. There you go. All right. First up is Sabrina.
Hey, how are we doing?
All right. Sabrina, I'm going to start the clock at 0. Once you start drinking, I'll hit start, and when you get done, you put it down, and that's, don't slam it down because we have another Beverly teed up.
Okay. Like flip cup, just flip it over, just done.
Yeah, you can flip it over if you want to show off a little. Not if you spray Beverly all over me, though.
I mean, that's fair.
The second you touch it to your lips, I start.
Okay.
All right.
All right, here we go.
.95 seconds. Now we have some spillage. I think that was natural spillage, though. I don't think it was.
It was on purpose.
How do you feel?
I felt better before. The taste was hitting hard.
Are you ready?
It's like if you were to oh God. Like if you were to just drink a lot of, I don't even know what.
Are you ready for the second quarter coming up in a few minutes?
Oh God, what?
All right, that's a good time. Jason, you want to keep track? 7.95.
Nobody said it. I couldn't.
All right, so Allison has a novel strategy here. She's going to try to mask the flavor. She's brought something with her that will help her.
I went to Connections and I got myself. I got a cake pop.
That's really committed because it's just as likely that the Beverly's going to ruin the cake pop as it is that the cake pop is going to help you drink the Beverly.
I did some reading before I actually did this challenge today, and I looked up different things that could possibly help with bitter flavors. So I decided, and they said sugar and salt are two of the things that can help with bitter flavors. So we're gonna see if that actually works.
Okay, well go ahead and do your thing. I won't start the timer until you start drinking Beverly.
Until I start drinking? So all right, we're gonna see what happens.
Just be careful, like YouTube is weird about people eating things, and just be careful.
It's just...
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna see what happens. So hopefully the sugar is gonna help me mask a soda.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
All right.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, here we go. I hate it so much.
We got a good 1/12 of an ounce down so far.
It's awful. Oh, God. I don't like, hold on.
Dip the cake pop in like Joey Chestnut.
No. Do I have to drink the whole thing?
I don't force anyone to do anything they don't want to do.
I don't like this at all.
Should we call Lucas and ask him what pretzel would go well with this?
God, this is nasty.
We're doing great. We're at 48 seconds.
God, I hate this so much.
Cut her off in a minute.
And we're at a minute. Do we stop?
No, you can stop. I don't want any more.
She has tapped out.
I'm done.
That was at one. She gave it 105.74
I hate it so much.
worth of effort, which is pretty good. I think maybe the cake pop could have backfired.
I don't know, but I'm gonna finish my cake pop.
I feel like it doesn't look very good.
The cake pop or the drink?
Neither one of them look good right now. All right.
I'd rather have this though.
We go on. Next up. All right, Katie. Well, you've seen Sabrina was like 8 seconds. Allison tapped out after a minute. What do you think now?
I'm scared.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Scared of a little Beverly?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is terrifying.
I should have brought grenadine and tried making it a Shirley Temple.
I don't know if mixers are allowed. Allison, we let her do that because it wasn't really mixed, but we'll see. Either way, you didn't bring grenadine, so here we are. Well, I won't start the timer till you put it to your lips.
When I'm scared to even touch the cup, that's how much foreboding there is. Okay.
And there she goes. Oh, she's making a really good effort of it. Look, I wouldn't stop to taste it if I were you, but.
Oh, the carbonation is killing my throat.
You're shaking. There we go.
Oh, I am shaking.
29.62 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. That is pretty darn good. All right, we got to get some refills.
All right, so here it's Eric's turn in the competition, so I'm doing the timing. We're going to see how this goes. Eric thinks he's pretty good at this.
I don't know. I just feel like I eat festival food on camera a lot, and if I can eat the Italy booth every year, I can drink this and try to not taste it. My strategy is just chug it, like bypass the taste buds and go straight to the stomach, right?
All right.
So
whenever you're ready, sir.
And I don't want to make a big mess. Oh, look, someone small is getting in my way. I'm actually getting in their way, so here we go. Ready?
Ready. 4 seconds, 4.9 seconds.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. He like almost half the time of Sabrina. That's pretty amazing.
If you bypass your taste buds, it doesn't taste that bad.
I mean,
I kind of taste like nutmeg in there. I almost taste like some pumpkin pie deep down in there because I missed all my taste buds until the back of my.
That's a good trick to bypass your taste buds.
That might be the
that
trick.
Works, but
I mean, if I burp, it's going to taste terrible. And I'm probably going to burp because that's a lot of carbonation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you can still beat that.
I could.
All right, Jason, what is your strategy?
Well, I mean, Eric, your strategy was to bypass your taste buds.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but that seemed to be a good strategy, so I'm going to try that, I guess. I don't know.
Have you gotten a good whiff of Beverly with all the people around here?
I mean, it's spilled all over the place. Yeah, how could you not?
Yeah, there's a little bit of spillage. All right, well, let me get my, hold on.
Get your timer ready.
I got my timer ready. You start when you're ready. You look like you're enjoying it. Look at him sipping it. Oh, it's like from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, the bucket hat. It's been drying out for several months, and now he's.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
He's out. Well, we're down at Diffendall. Now, Sabrina, second place. It's pretty impressive still, the time you put up.
Yeah,
you look a little
yeah.
a little salty.
I am, because listen, and when you go first like that, you're setting the precedent, right? And then you came in as last, like you already knew what time to beat.
Like we randomly selected the order, though.
Yeah, but I think I deserve a chance to beat your time.
All right, here, I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do.
Okay.
I'll give you a second chance.
Okay.
Because if you're willing to drink twice the Beverly,
yeah,
I'm willing to give you a chance.
Okay. All right,
if you beat my time of 4.9, we will give.
Shave off 3 seconds.
We'll give 20 core bucks to someone in the audience. How's that? Live audience, right? If you're watching later, forget about it. But if you post hashtag Beverly in the chat, and if Sabrina beats my time, Jason will get you 20 core bucks. All right.
We can do
Best of luck to you. I'm rooting for you. I'll get out of your way.
Okay. All right.
Jason's going to time you, so there's no conflict of interest here.
Okay. All right. I got to beat 4.9. Here we go.
All right, here we go. I'm ready to time. Whenever you're ready to go.
All right.
Oh, she's serious.
Okay.
It's like that Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie.
That's right. Over the top. Yes. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, there's a lot of spillage there. Whoa! 4.28.
Oh!
Yes, Sabrina!
That.
I don't feel like a winner though.
I feel like you're the first loser. More ways than one.
I might be.
That means that someone in the live chat, who typed hashtag Beverly is going to get randomly selected for 24 bucks. And someone in the studio audience will also get randomly selected for 24 bucks.
Jake will pick a winner right now for the chat.
And we'll announce it in the right now.
I guess on the chat.
Can I borrow that hat?
Good job, Sabrina.
Can I borrow the hat? Is that still up?
All right, and that does it for the Beverly Challenge, proving there are no real winners when it comes to drinking Beverly. Look at Sabrina. Look at your shirt, Sabrina. Between the trash can and your shirt, that's another 6 ounces or so of Beverly. You're going to smell like a grapefruit aperitif.
Take it home with you.
Take it home with you.
I need a palate cleanse. I'm like, we're good.
Everybody tried their hardest. Katie finished despite many troubles and tribulations. Allison gave it her best shot despite her strategy kind of backfiring on her. Jason already has purchased a new hat. I see.
I brought two.
They always bring two hats when you're Jason.
Yep, I always come with two hats.
And so in the world of man versus park, the park won because we had to drink Beverly. We'll see you next time.
That was a thing that happened. Oh, we really missed out.
Darn!
Oh, no.
Oh, man,
Oh,
I
man.
feel really bad.
Pac-Man Music Man, you won 20 core bucks. I assume that's what that means.
Sure.
Yeah. There you go. Well, that's our show.
It was a good one.
The polite golf clap. Jason Ballard, 7. Yeah, 7. 4 years old in 1979. First MK ride was Mr. Toad with my grandpa. Flash forward to first DL trip in 05, and again, Mr. Toad.
Nice.
That's a good one. That's great.
And then they did Mr. Toad in Hong Kong, Mr. Toad in Shanghai.
No. In Paris, maybe they ate in the restaurant. It was their first restaurant. Becky Christensen, $5. My grandma told me that she accidentally rode Space Mountain in the 60s. It wasn't open in the 60s. She said she thought she was getting on the monorail. Didn't open until the 70s.
Wow.
We just got the year wrong. Oops, typo, I meant 70. There we go. There it is. That's it. That's our show. And remember, kids, don't send Eric and other employees to drink. Rob, what's wrong?
Don't worry, it's fixed.
I just
It's
feel
fixed.
like there's a lot of signaling happening.
I was telling him to unmute my microphone before I needed it, and then
Yeah.
you saw me, so now everybody knows.
Yeah. Now everybody knows. And knowing is half the battle. All right, remember, kids, yeah, don't send Eric and other people to drink Beverly. Good night.
I guess that was our show. We did a monologue. Farewell and aloha to you. MIC, see you next week. KEY. Why? 'Cause it's got to be Thursday again. That's what we do. Hey.